Welcome. We're going to look at the firmware update procedure for the ALR and HE-1400v2, the ALT and HLT-1920 and the DT-1920 HDMI controllers. Firstly, we'll look at the devices required. You'll need a Windows PC. This will have the firmware upgrade utility loaded, and you'll need the firmware, the .bin file. You'll need a programming board. The programming board receives the file from the Windows PC and sends that to the controller. You need to connect the Windows PC to the programming board using a USB cable. Depending on the controller will depend on which signal cable you require to connect to the programming board. The ALR and HE-1400v2 use the DVI cable. The ALT and HLT-1920 uses the HDMI cable. And the DT-1920 HDMI also uses the HDMI cable. Whichever controller you're using, you'll need to place a jumper across JP6 to set it to the close position. You'll also need to provide power to the controller. Some controllers support 12 volt, some will support both 12 volt and 24 volt input. Okay, now we're ready to proceed to the programming. A successful USB connection is shown on the toolbar at the bottom. Select Read in the toolbar, then select Read for the folder search, and then locate the file. It's a .bin format. Select that, and then select the Open button. Select Auto in the toolbar. You'll see Program File Ready. This means the firmware file is ready to be programmed to the controller. Next step, select Run. Programming has now begun. First erasing, then blanking, then programming, and finally verifying. It will display end time. That's the length of time it's taken to do the firmware update. To confirm the firmware has been successfully updated, pass is displayed on the screen in green. Programming is now completed, so we'll close the utility. Application notes are available on the procedure to update firmware. If you need one, please contact your local Digital View office. Thank you for watching, and I hope it's been useful.